million. The best I did was 6 stashes in 1 day. Use a specific method to find stashes like that. When I first joined Simcraft, I base hunted for about 2 years, finding base after base, and learning about the server and the way it works. After gaining enough knowledge on how to find things, I decided I would start stash hunting. It took around 8 months of searching until I would find my first major stash. It was around 50 double chests worth of gear, and from that day forward, I was hooked. Today, I will tell you how I found so many stashes and the true method I used to find them. First off, I was able to learn about the server's past dupe history. An important thing was knowing that the original duping happened under the radius of 75,000 blocks, as the world border extending past that was introduced much later on. And these are the 3 main things we need to know. The original players who duped, the players who had access to dupe stuff, and the original locations of the server's first major dupes. And those 3 things are the only things you need to know. For anyone who might not be familiar with how some stashes may operate, is players will make item stashes using duplication glitches, and to avoid them from being found easily and getting in the hands of other players, a lot of the time, players will use natural structures to hide their items, most of the time being close to the original place they duped at. So with enough searching and clues, we can create an estimated distance on where these mini stashes could be. So by finding where the original dupe locations are, the players responsible for duping, and the players who had access to duped items, we can start using these strategies to find stashes. And by combining all the knowledge I had with the server's dupe history and all the things we just talked about, it looks something like this. The true method on how I find stashes is based off knowledge. Let's look at this part of the map. This is where a player named Jagro duped some of the original stuff years ago, and by searching around the area, I found there was a ton of mini stashes, mainly in shipwrecks. And by searching that area some more, I was able to find 6 mini stashes in just 1 day. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes players that were given stashes or players who had access to duped items also stored away their items in natural structures. Icy Brisk, Red Was Imposter, and CBA1 are all players who had access to duped items. And by searching around their bases and places they were affiliated with, almost every time, or at one point, there was mini stashes around those areas in natural structures. And of course there's a little more that goes into finding stashes, like using hack clients with modules to find stashes easier, and clues in the terrain like sheep marks, knowing if you're in old or new chunks based off the terrain you're in, or just random clues you will find. And that is how I'm able to find stashes so easily. It's something you will just get good at over time and takes a lot of practice of. So if you decide to start searching for a stash, it's not an easy thing, especially on Simcraft, as a ton of the original server's duped items has been griefed or stored away very securely. But with the server recently having a new duplication glitch, finding stashes will become a little more easier, assuming not everything was rolled back by Plutorin.
You locking doors, Joseph? You locking doors, Joseph?
Which a video on that is coming soon. So to sum everything up, how I find stashes is based off knowledge. I know a lot of people were curious on how I find so many stashes, and that's how. I hope you found it interesting and not that boring, But yeah, I don't have any backdoor super secret hacks or exploits or anything. So can you use this method for yourself? Well, kind of. I warned Balance that this video was coming out and to move anything they had below 75,000 blocks out of that radius. And I went and moved all the stashes I found within that radius as well. But I guarantee there is still more stashes out there under 75,000 blocks, as just the other day I found another one. I made a Discord server specifically related to SimCraft content and content within the server. If you want, feel free to join it. The link is down below. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.